I'm sure you're all familiar with these little 97-cent LED path lights that you can get in Walmart and many other places. Relatively inexpensive, and they work. However, have you ever bought something for 97 cents and thought, you know what I need to do is spend twice the amount of money to make it work about the same? Yeah, that's exactly what I've done here. Is we've got these little path lights, and you know, they've got the whatever clear, and they've got the big stalk, and they sit about this tall. And I wanted them to not only sit lower to the ground, but I wanted them to be more diffuse. I don't like seeing the direct LEDs at night. And on top of that, they were spreading a little too far, and I actually have had some concerns about some of my plants, because I've got these around essentially my plants in the yard so the kids don't run over the plants. I do have concerns about the light interfering with their bloom periods. So I wanted to make sure that it didn't throw as far. You didn't have that like single point light, which can influence plants more than a soft diffuse light. So I designed these little diffusers. It locks right in, and it also makes them short. So the stake goes right into there. These basically sit this high off the ground. I could make it to where it adapts with a little tube that's on there. And yeah, I could have just made them really low to the ground by chopping that tube, you know, into a length like that, a lot cheaper than printing all of these. But you know how it is sometimes. You do something not so much because you want to save dollars, but because you just have an idea in your head. So I designed this in SolidWorks, of course. Essentially, I patterned the standard little locking part off of the stock one, and then we've got this little neck down or neck up right here, just so that we can make it the same diameter for looks. It's just for looks as this portion of it, and it's tapered because it prints like this. So it's tapered just so I don't have to have any sort of supports. It's a single wall, except for like this portion of it right there. Everything else is a single wall, PETG, just a clear PETG printed really hot and kind of fast, so it's more frosted. I could make it clear if I printed it extremely slow, but I didn't want it to be clear. I wanted it to be frosted. So all single wall right here. I just did a thin extrusion essentially to make this a thin wall, 1/2 millimeter sort of situation there. And then I did a 1 millimeter here because that actually does have a lot of stresses on it. And I wanted to make sure, I mean, these things are, I mean, if you step on them, it's gonna break. But if you step on a normal one, it's gonna break too. So I'm not too worried about it. What I am worried about is what's inside this. I'm interested. It's got the little solar collector on top. We've got a little battery inside. It says a 2/3 AA rechargeable. 2/3 A is, oh, no, that's 2/3 AA. That's different. 2/3 A is what we used to use in the crawling world. Ooh, I saw a battery pack the other day of 2/3 A's. Where are they? One moment, please. Yeah, so these were knuckle packs that we built back in the day out of 2/3 A size. And so you would have essentially 2 sets of these, well, either on your front axle like this, or we would put them inside the knuckles on a clodbuster. Y'all don't care, probably. And you'd have 2 of these packs, and you'd plug them together and then be running, let's see, these were like 1200 amp hour, 1400 amp hour. I have lost my marbles here. Oh well, we'll move on. Let's see, is this a number 1? Nope. Number 2. Yeah, at any rate, you can see how these are, small cells. This is gonna be even smaller because it's AA. 2/3 AA on the inside of this one. And I'm assuming that it's probably gonna be our battery that's toasting this, because I bought, you know, like 100 of these, and something like 17 or something were dead. Maybe not quite 17, but there was quite a few that were dead, just on the shelf, off the shelf, whichever way it was. And so, you know, you just take them back and get them exchanged or whatever. All right, so we've got our solar cell. It's got 2 wires. It goes down to a little, I don't even know if it's going to be a charged circuit. They've got one IC that is covered in black, just for probably resistance of water. Then that goes and charges the battery. And whenever this doesn't have enough voltage, it turns on the battery for power. And obviously this one wasn't charging. Look at these little guys though. Hey, cute little batteries. 2/3 AA, 150 milliamp hours. Pile rechargeable nickel metal high drive. I wonder what that means. I don't know what that means. It's got a brand name on it though, Westinghouse. Yeah, then we got a little resistor. That's probably for our LED itself. Yeah, a very simple circuit, real simple. But I do wonder the ones that didn't work, is there something that I can do about it? Is it going to be just the batteries that were, defunct and maybe they sat on the shelf for too long? There's all kinds of things that could be wrong with them, but yeah, interesting. Neat little circuit in there at least. Cool. All right, well, these work. They do exactly what I wanted to. I printed them, they fit. I put them into the yard and they did exactly what I wanted to, which was prevent the hot spots in your eyeballs at night, and also diffuse the light in such a way that I don't think it'll bother my plants nearly as much. And maybe I'm just being weird about worrying about my plants at night, but when you got 100 of these in your yard, it's actually a considerable amount of light. So anything that I can do to make the path still visible, or the anti-path still visible, and not disturb my little plants, I will do it. Or animals, for that matter. It could disturb some animals. But yeah, keeping it low to the ground, making it nice and diffuse. That's the plan. All right, there we go. A project of turning a 97-cent object into a $2 object, and also requiring a lot of my time. It's perfect. That's what I love to do. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. You've made it to the end of the video. Hopefully that means you liked what you saw. If you want to help out the channel, you can like, subscribe, and definitely comment down below. We would like to hear new ideas from you, so be sure you let us know what you'd like to see. There are some other suggestions probably floating by my head right now that you can check out, and otherwise we appreciate your support and your help growing the channel.